Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to go over some anxiety or panic attack relief tips. So these are going to be things that you can do anytime you are experiencing severe anxiety or an actual panic attack. So let's get right into it. The first one is to understand that you are not going to die. No one has ever died from a panic attack. Just make sure you are in a safe space or are not driving a vehicle or machinery. So, this is a fact. I did research this before I before I decided to tell people this because I was curious myself. I know this is something that a lot of people struggle with, panic attacks and anxiety, and a lot of people think that they're having a heart attack. And that's usually not the case. In fact, I don't think it's ever been the case because heart attack symptoms are completely different. Heart attack symptoms involve pain in the arm and the neck, shortness of breath. Well, that can also be in this too, but the symptoms that you have when you're having anxiety or panic are usually mental, and that will make the body have the same symptoms. So if you're in a really good mood and everything's fine, and then all of a sudden you get a pain and then you feel, like you can't breathe, that could be a heart attack. But when you are having an anxiety or a panic attack, your mind also is affected. And I shouldn't say also, this is when your mind is affected, and that's how you can tell the difference, because your mind is tricking you into thinking that it's something worse than what it is. Um, so usually these pass within minutes. And so to understand that you're not going to die is a very helpful thing to keep repeating to yourself. So I'm going to move on to the next one, and that one is to stand on the earth with your bare feet. This is otherwise known as grounding or earthing. So touching the earth with your bare feet helps to ground you. You will be connecting to the earth's healing negative ions. And so why this is something good to do when you're having anxiety or panic attack is because you're not grounded. When you're in your mind and your mind is feeling, there's a word for it, disassociative, when you're feeling like you're going crazy, that's because you're not grounded. So standing on the earth with your bare feet is an amazing thing to do anytime. This is just something that I think will be very helpful when it was helpful for me. I had one panic attack that was worse than the other ones, and I didn't even have to think about it. I instinctively ran outside, and I'm like, "Oh, there must be something to this because I just went outside and I'm in the grass with my bare feet and I feel different." And that immediately helped it. It was insane. And then I'm also a huge advocate of earthing anyway because it's just healthy for you in so many ways. So this is one thing that you can do if you live in a climate where you can go barefoot outside. Hopefully it's not winter when this happens. So that's something that you can do anytime really. So remember this one. The next one is to put your hands over your heart and breathe deeply. Breathe in and out slowly and deeply through your nose, filling your lungs deeply down to the diaphragm. Make sure your stomach rises and falls, not your chest. Imagine white healing energy coming into your heart. This is why touching your heart helps focus there. Imagine the energy going through your body and out the top of your head. This is something that I learned from many meditation teachers, visualization teachers. It's a trick to help connect your body to your soul or your mind. It's just a very good holistic tip, and visualization is so powerful. One time, this is a different subject, but I used visualization and I healed myself from what I think was appendicitis because I had really bad pain. I couldn't even stand up straight for like 2 days and I couldn't eat. And I went to bed that last night and I visualized this white light into my body going in and out. And the next day I woke up and the pain was completely gone, like nothing had ever happened. And I'm not saying that's 100% guaranteed why that went away, but I mean, it can't hurt. I'm a huge advocate of doing anything that feels good. And if it will raise your vibes and make you feel good, then why not? And I really also believe that things that you can't see are real. And if you follow my channel, you obviously, or if you're new, if you're interested in holistic health and all this stuff that I talk about, you probably are very open-minded to spiritual things as far as that goes. So things that you can't see, energy, vibration, and that is what visualization is. So imagining that this healing energy is coming into your heart is very helpful. And also, I learned this trick from Greg Braden, I believe it was. A lot of people teach this, but this is called heart-brain coherence. And so when you touch your heart and then you breathe deeply, you must be breathing into your diaphragm. Like I said, don't let your chest rise and fall. Breathe deep into your diaphragm, your stomach, and then in and out that way. And then while you're touching your heart, you kind of imagine that the energy is going into your heart through your body and that it's just magical. It calms the vagus nerve. And this is why it's helpful for anxiety and panic attacks. So moving on to the next one, dance or sing. Dancing or singing helps stop worrisome thinking by moving energy through the body and helps to activate the vagus nerve, which calms you. So I just mentioned the vagus nerve, and dancing and singing is another thing that helps to, I mean, it says activate, but it really means to stimulate, but it sounds like it's doing the opposite. It really just calms you. When you are activating the vagus nerve, the vagus nerve is what calms you. So, dancing or singing, and that's not always possible. Like it's the middle of the night, which is usually when these things happen. There's a scientific reason why people have anxiety and panic attacks in the middle of the night, and one reason, what I heard from Ayurvedic teachings, is that the body is hasn't released the nervous energy from the day, and it's been built up. And so when you relax, when you're trying to fall asleep, this nervous energy is kind of catching up and trying to force its way out, and that's when the body has to react to it. And so that's what happens. And another reason why anxiety happens in the middle of the night could be from your liver is trying to detox at this time in the middle of the night between like 1 and 3 a.m. So if that's when you wake up having a racing heart and sweaty and you feel anxious, that could possibly be from the liver detoxing at that time. So it is not always possible to dance or sing at 2 in the morning when this happens. It's just a helpful thing to remember if this happens to you anytime you are alone or anytime it's the middle of the day where you can dance or sing. The next one is to breathe essential oils. So breathing essential oils can help with the relaxation process. Some oils to try are lavender, valerian, jasmine, chamomile, rose, lemon balm, or frankincense. So this is something that's really helpful in Ayurveda. They talk about all of your senses helps to keep you healthy mentally, and anything that you take into the senses, which includes things you smell, is going to help the mind and everything else. It's all connected, right? So essential oils are very good for this. And a lot of times I will take lavender before I go to bed when I'm in a place that I'm not used to sleeping, and that always helps me sleep. Try the five senses exercise. So you can identify all the things you can see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. Focus on each of these for a few minutes. This is a great exercise, and I love doing this just for the heck of it. Like even if I'm in a great mood, and if I just want to remember the moment, but this also works really good for anxiety because it helps ground you. Grounding is key. And the five senses are how we ground into this reality with the planet. So this is even more powerful if you can stand outside with your bare feet when you're grounding on the earth and doing this exercise at the same time. It's magical. It's absolutely amazing. Repeat mantras or affirmations. Mantras and affirmations are simply a repeated phrase such as "this too shall pass" or "I am okay." I really like this too shall pass because, like I said earlier, nobody's ever died from an anxiety attack, and they always last just a few minutes usually. I have heard of them lasting for like an hour or two, but the majority of them are a lot quicker. And of course, these tips that I'm giving in this video will help to make them go quicker as well. Use EFT or emotional freedom technique. This is also known as tapping. As you tap on the meridian points, repeat your mantras, affirmations, or speak or think any feelings or thoughts that are bothering you at the moment. So I have, it says see the chart on the next page for the tapping points. This is because I created a journal workbook with um, the tapping points on a page. And before I show you that, I want to quick explain EFT a little bit. This is something that's been around forever, and it's so powerful. And this is something that works for a lot of people, even when nothing else does. And the reason why it's called emotional freedom technique is because when you do this, you are releasing stuck emotions. And it works. I've done it on things, and I'll just be like really emotional afterwards, and I feel better because I was able to get that out. So, if you do these tapping points, it can help you to, release the anxiety that is the reason why you're having the attack in the first place, is because this energy has to come out. And once you can get it out quicker, the better you will be. So this is my printable journal. It's the Anxiety Panic Attack Journal. So there's 5 pages, and 2 of the pages are all of the tips that I just gave you. Um, and then the other pages are, so there's the cover and then the tips that I just gave you. Um, the meridian tapping points, there's the map there with the points on it. And you can also Google it because, or YouTube it, there's thousands of videos about tapping. It's a very popular thing on YouTube. And then there's also some journal prompt pages and, well, 1 page, and then an anxiety and panic attack tracker. And those are good for getting you through the moment. So the journal prompts will help you in the moment when you're having this attack, and then the tracker will help you to track the triggers and the things that help. So if you do any of these tips and they work, then you can keep track of them, and it will be useful for the future. So next time you have it, you know what to do. You can just grab this paper that you can print. And also, I like to tell people that these these first 2 pages right here, the ones that I just went through, these are really good for laminating. And then you can, once you print it, you can laminate it, and then you can have it for easy reference whenever you need it. And that's the whole purpose why I made this panic attack journal in the first place, was because when people are having this, they can't always access a video. They might be in the middle of the night laying next to their bed and on their bed, and they might have this laying next to their bed. They can grab it and just right away start looking at the things that they can try. So this is available on Etsy, and I will have a link down in the description. And please like this video if you've gotten any benefit out of this, and share this with anyone that you know that has anxiety disorders or has trouble with panic attacks. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.